All right, so let's get straight to it. This is going to be a beginner-friendly rogue guide. The stuff that I'm going to touch on is gear and the mindset and play style that you're going to want to have when you're specifically PvPing. This isn't going to be a PvE guide or like map survivability guide. It's going to be PvP focused. Because I think that's where the majority of new players are going to struggle the most. This is going to be the bare bones, basic fundamentals for a new rogue as to how you should take on fights. Playing rogue and PvPing as rogue is all about creating small advantages for you in punishing the player with movement speed. Movement speed is going to be your biggest ally and your biggest weapon as a rogue. And the reason why is because if people can't catch you, then they can never do damage to you. If they can only fight when you determine when the engagement is going to happen, then you will always have the advantage. And with the build that we're going to run, you'll be able to do damage from a relatively safe distance in terms of like a closer to mid-range fight, right? You never all in as a rogue until you know that you are for sure going to get that kill, within that first burst of damage that you're going to try to do. But before we get to all that, I also want to say I'm going to be running Squire gear because I'm assuming everyone's going to be, majority of the people that are going to watch this guide are going to be playing normals, right? I have a bunch of, if you look through my YouTube, I have a bunch of HR PvP videos. I just put one out a couple days ago. His last few days of wipe, super geared. If you watch that video and then after you watch this, I follow all of the same like fundamentals and like rules of engagement basically, except I'm playing in like duos and trios, so it's the play style is different. This is going to be all solos, but it's relatively the same. But again, we're going to be running the Squire pack, and what we're going to be wearing is, once you get your Squire leveled up a little bit, this is what you're going to want to run. Rondell dagger or Chris dagger, either one is good. For your slot here, we're going to be running double hand crossbow. As many throwing knives as you can get. Loose trousers, lightfoots, riveted, and shadow mask. And again, we're not going to be running a chest because it's going to be more detrimental than it will be helpful. Again, the reason why we're running this gear is because it gives us the maximum movement speed we can get from Squire, right? So there's two ways you can play rogue, kind of three if you're playing duo or trio. You can do the rupture, cutthroat, double crossbow rogue, which is what we're doing, so no hide, no ambush, no invis, nothing like that. Or you can do the hide, ambush, invis rogue, right? But the reason why I think it's better for a player to start out not running hide and running rupture and cutthroat is because running hide and ambush is a crutch. You get off the gate, you get an immediate burst of damage. It's about like plus 20 damage, give or take a little bit. And you get the movement speed buff, and you get to be invis, whatever. But that doesn't build good habits when you're learning to PvP, when you're learning mechanics, right? Unless you're using this as like you're running at someone, pop it for your speed boost and the damage boost when you're like W keying them, right? As a new player, that's probably not how you're going to play the game. You're going to be certain, you're going to be confused, you're not going to have that confidence yet, right? So this is a better kit, a better build to run, because it will force you to build good habits. There's no crutch, right? So what we're doing, this is also assuming that, you know, you have all of your perks, right? All of your perks. So level 15. So we're gonna run thrust, dagger mastery, jokester, and poison weapon. The reason why we're not running like creep or back attack is because back attack only works if you're stabbing them in the back. You know, creep is good, but since you're not running ambush, I think creep is not necessarily wasted, but all of these give you much more value, right? Jokester gives you +2 all, huge, right? Plus pick. Thrust 20% armor pen, it's okay. Armor pen's not a flat armor pen. It's a percentage of a percentage, right? So 20% armor penetration is 20% of where is it? It's 20% of this rating, right? So, you know, it's good. It's still good. It's better than creep or better than backstab. So we're gonna take it, but it's not huge. You could change this for creep or backstab, and you know, it wouldn't be a huge deal. And then dagger mastery for +15 physical damage, huge. And then poison weapon for, you know, continuous damage, which is where our double crossbow comes in. Every time you hit somebody, it's going to reapply that stack of poison and restart the tick, right? So it will help continually do damage while you're in the fight, while you're also disengaging a little bit or keeping your distance. So I know all this is a lot. I'm going to get into some gameplay. I'm going to walk you guys through fights and exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it, why I'm doing it that way. So yeah, we can go ahead and do that. And then also after this, if you guys want a like level 1 rogue guide and what to do from level 1, I can also give you guys that as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. Alright, so I heard a mob die to the left of that door, so I know there's a guy there. I saw his hand through the door, jump shot him with the crossbow, right? So I hear him healing, so I'm gonna open the door and apply some pressure, right? See, it's a rogue. Trying to hit my crossbow with rupture. He's trying to do the same. I'm reloading. He started reloading before me. He's gonna get his shot before me. I missed mine. Now I push in because he has his crossbow out, right? We're whiffing. Now I backed up there because we were both whiffing, and I needed to create some distance and either heal or try to get a knife off, which I did, and he died. Right. So now I hear a guy by that door. Of course, it's a fucking barbarian. So I'm less than half health. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna create distance between him and I, so I can make sure all my crossbows are reloaded, so I can heal, put my pots in order, right? I'm gonna get my knives in order. I'm gonna get my knives back on my utility bar. So I'm going over here and I'm opening this door so I have an escape. So I'm not trapped in this room. I came from that way. I cleared that way. So I have some room to play into. I have some room to kite into. I have a space I can go to, so I'm not trapped in here. Alright, so I'm making sure I'm healed up. I was going to go apply pressure. He's coming back. I'm making sure I have bandages, pots, and stuff. This guy's super overconfident because he's VoIPing at me and like what he's saying. He's extremely confident because he's a barbarian. I'm a rogue, right? I get a rupture, a cutthroat night off. I see he's drinking a pot. I get 2 free stabs and while he's in the animation, and I back up, I disengage. Trying to reload my crossbow. I dodge. I hit him with the crossbow. I hit him with the knife, right? We even get him with the torch. Right, boom. Boom. And he up there, he even said, "Oh, you're smart." You can tell I'm playing good. So I'm getting close to him. I'm making him pull out his weapons so I can get away and reload my crossbow. He has a warmaul. It's super slow. It gives a huge movement speed penalty. Alright, I'm just applying pressure. I'm applying pressure. Hit him once. He falls below me. He can never headshot me. Me. I'm gonna get the headshot. I'm gonna win that fight every time. Now, what won me that fight was my spacing, pulling and pushing, applying pressure, making his weapon out, making him do things that slow his movement to where I can either back up, reload, heal, or make him do something to where then I can take advantage of that and damage and apply pressure. Now this guy, this is a fighter. He has sprint and second wind. Shoot my crossbows at him. I missed both of them. And I'm just creating space. I'm not letting him get close to me. I need to reload my crossbows, right? As the crossbow rogue build, their whole playstyle is centered around movement and crossbows. Alright, so I'm reloaded. I'm gonna go apply pressure. I'm listening. I'm trying to see where he is. He's looting chest. Shoot him in the legs. It's a knife. It's that one. That cutthroat stopped his sprint. Cutthroat stops almost all almost all abilities, almost all skills. Try to get a shot through the window, but I miss. He's drinking pot. Didn't see it work, so I missed. While he was drinking that pot, I tried to get some damage in, right? Time drinking pot, bandaging, doing anything you can. You always want to try to apply damage or do something to get an advantage in the fight, whether that's reloading, you healing, opening the door. I hit that cutthroat, I shut the door, I reload the crossbow. Now you might think this is like a boring way to play rogue, but this is how you have to play rogue. Even if you were playing like ambush hide rogue, you still have to play like this after your ambush goes away. Like after you use your hide and ambush, you still have to kite like this as a rogue. Showing presence, I'm applying pressure, trying to get damage in while he's fucking with the mobs. I hit that shot. Instead of following behind the mobs, I'm gonna go cut them off. Missed my shot. He used second wind, which restores 40% of your health. That is a one-time use ability, so he no longer has that, so that's a huge advantage for me. Now granted, a lot of the work I've already done is gone, because he used that recover 40% of your health, but that's okay. We wanted him to use that. I'm gonna fast forward the video because he gets away and goes to another room. Oh, in a second. Still chasing me, actually. So now I'm running. I'm trying to create space because I need to reload my crossbow. I'm out of throwing knives, and I need my crossbow. I'm so much faster than him. He gives up chasing me, which happens often. Oh, I'm gonna fast forward now. Alright, so here's some mobs aggroed on someone underneath me. So that same fighter, but I hear someone above me or with me. So we're a werewolf guy playing the fucking loot. I hit him with a rupture and a cutthroat shot. I'm reloading my crossbow. It's a barbarian. So I all in on this guy because I've already done damage to him with the rupture, and I saw he had the Zweihander. And if I needed to, I was just gonna duck underneath it. I knew I'd be able to kill this guy without risking my life. Go fight this fighter again. I'm gonna shut this door so no one can come up behind. Hit him in the head with a rupture shot. Now I'm keeping this high ground, right? This high ground is a huge advantage always in every fight. If you can have high ground, you always want the high ground, like that first Barbarian fight at the very end. So this gate opens. I figured he was going to do that, trying to get out. I cutthroat him to block his sprint, and push him off the top. It is what it is. Well, I hope you guys were able to learn something. That's again, this is the very basics of how, in my opinion, a new rogue player should try to play rogue, right? Everything is about spacing, movement, timing, forcing a reaction out of your opponent that then you can take an advantage of, that you can capitalize on, right? If you can force a reaction that you want, then you know what you want to do once they have that reaction, right? So like with that Barbarian, when we both jumped down, I got close to him. He pulled out his war maul. I disengaged and reloaded my crossbow, right? I didn't want to just keep running and then reload my crossbow because it'll give him time to catch up to me while he has his hands out. But if I get close to him, apply pressure, make him take his weapon out, I can disengage, reload my crossbow, and now I have more utility than him again, right? Now I have an advantage on him. So it's really a push and pull. You have to create little moments that give you advantages for you to win the entire fight. Playing rogue is like a war of attrition almost. You have to outlast your opponent while dealing damage. People will get very frustrated with you when you play like this because they just can't do anything. Huge counters to rogues, to this playstyle of a rogue, rangers, good wizards, good warlocks. But that's why we run cutthroat, so we can silence them and then close the distance and hopefully get in some damage, some poison damage. Also, every time I hit, any hit I landed with a crossbow or a knife, reapplying that poison damage from our poison perk. So they're taking damage even when I'm not hitting them. Like I hit them once, they're taking damage. That's why poison is very good on this build. So again, this is just the very fundamental basics of what you need to be thinking about when you're playing this style of a rogue. If you guys want a video where I play hide ambush rogue, I will absolutely do that. If you guys want like high roller rogue of either playstyle, I will absolutely do that. Rogue is so good once you get him geared. You can play so confidently because you will absolutely fucking demolish people as a geared rogue. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. If anything was confusing, or if there was something you wish you would have saw, or if you saw, fucking Jesus Christ, if you wish you would have seen, or if you need an explanation on something or tips for me, please let me know in the comments. Please like, please sub. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.